The impact of herdsmen attack on communities in Benue and Nasarawa State takes center stage today on Eyewitness Report due to its importance and the need to bring to spotlight what has today become a killer monster. Various efforts have gone into rehabilitating these displaced people, some of whom are widowed by this war. As additional residents as well as other consumers of electricity under a co-electricity distribution company demands for better service as reported in our previous edition, the management of EKEDC has made good its promise to meet up with the people. We'll bring you details of that meeting. Education remains the bedrock of any developed or developing society. Only those with foresight would give all up to see that the right environment is created for these to flourish. This doesn't appear to be the case of Ansarul Islam College, one of the first Islamic schools in Kwara State. These and more on Eyewitness Report. I'm Chris Elems. Ansarul Islam College, Kwara State, reeks of neglect after government took over its ownership in the early 80s. Now, most of the structures currently standing are begging for attention, and the people are also asking the government to please intervene. Join us on Eyewitness as we take a tour of Ansarul Islam College. Ijomu is one of the 11 communities that make up Oro Kingdom in Irekpodun local government area of Kwara State. And this is where the first secondary school was established by an Islamic missionary called Ansarul Islam. The secondary school, known as Ansarul Islam Grammar School, was established in 1970 and has become a ghost of itself as almost all the structures are now in a bad shape due to long years of neglect by various governments. The school, which once boasted of a functional library, laboratories, lecture halls, classes and hostels, has only relics of these to show for today, as explained by the chairman of the Parent Teachers Association. He blames this on government taking over of the school, which meant relegating maintenance to the background.
Most of the buildings, the hostel, the staff quarters, the classrooms were built by the proprietors. But let's say around 1983 to this time, things came to worse. And all effort by the proprietors was because the government has taken over everything. So the proprietors have to rest. But they don't know. Notwithstanding, the proprietors are trying. Even the school was having a water system something. There was a tank over there built by the society. But unfortunately, when this thing came to, when everything was rusting, the pipes are rusting, no effort to make it get up again.
A tour of the compound shows a rundown library filled with obsolete books scattered around in dirty environment. The science laboratory could be described as a shadow of itself, as there is nothing to indicate it was once a laboratory except for the tables covered in dirt. The examination hall has seen its best days, with collapsing roofs hanging dangerously. There is no toilet facility, which often leads to students answering the call of nature in nearby bushes. The only place they get water is from residential buildings nearby, which sometimes exposes them to dangers. The school lacks teachers in basic subjects such as mathematics and English language. This accounts for the high rates of failure. A visibly worried principal appeals to government as well as old students of the school not to abandon the school.
The school is facing a lot of challenges, starting from the staffing and the structures. The staffing is not adequate at all. We don't have mathematics teacher, English language teacher, and some other core subjects. In the aspect of structure, the science laboratory section needs rehabilitation. The buildings needs rehabilitation as well, because in some cases, like library, the ceiling is off, nearly dilapidating. Then the materials, textbooks, the available ones are obsolete. We want the government to help us.
An old student who was a former commissioner for education in the state, Rahim Adedoyin, believes the decay in the school is a reflection of the educational policy in the country.
The situation in Ansarul Islam Grammar School, Ijomu, reflects the state of the education in the country generally, especially community-based, school system. You discover that owing to low enrollment and diminished funding, the kind of facilities that ought to be in place are lacking.
The old students are already putting heads together to find a way of rescuing the school.
The Alumni Association is getting stronger, and one of the things we've been trying to do is to put our resources together and see what urgent intervention is required, at least to put the school in good shape where we are still awaiting the government larger intervention. The school celebrated its 37th anniversary, and that day we launched a donation drive. And I know quite a number of people made donations, and we have decided that that donation will be deployed into doing some of the things that the authorities have suggested require urgent attention.
In his response, the State Commissioner for Education says government is aware of the dilapidated structure of the schools, which he also claims is not limited to Ansarul Islam College. He, however, assures of the determination of government to renovate and refurbish some of the schools as soon as possible, 30 of which have been penciled down for immediate action.
His Excellency, the Executive Governor of the state, has directed the ministry and Subeb to move around the whole state and let him know the number of schools that needs to be repaired or renovated. That is on and is being compiled. However, there are 30 schools already slated for renovation, and that one is in 2016 budgets. The one we are compiling for now is going into 2017 budgets. Certainly, government is very much aware that our schools needs to be retouched.
Education has taken a lot of pounding from successive administrations in the country. It is high time our mission to reposition the sector is given the needed bite and paid the necessary attention.